Hello, beautiful soul family. Rebecca here, your vibe mentor, bringing you another video on how to raise your vibration so you can live your best life. Let's talk today about discipline fatigue. Many of us have heard about decision fatigue, but we didn't realize, or may not have realized, the deep connection between decision fatigue and discipline fatigue. But before we do, I just want to remind you, doors are opening today. 11/11. We are live. It is amazing. And we are joining together at 11 a.m. Central Time for our meditation. This community is so beautiful and growing already. I'm so excited to be here to be able to share this extremely accessible, low-cost option for you to be able to heal the traumas that hold you back so that you can step into your life purpose and manifest abundance through it, because the new earth is coming. It is just around the corner. We need the new earth construction team to assemble so that we can start to create the new systems to take the place of the old as they fall away. So if you have felt called towards something greater that you have not really understood why or what, but you know you want to do this, you want to start your own business, you want to be a healer, you want to do something that matters in the world, but you haven't quite been able to make it happen. Maybe it's self-sabotage or fear of being seen or fear of judgment. If you know that this is something that's right for you, but you haven't been able to make it work, this is the place to be. I'm trained in something called brain spotting. It is essentially trauma healing. All blocks are, the big bad T word, trauma. It really doesn't have to be that bad. It is as simple as removing the traumas up and out of the body, as well as reprogramming the subconscious and the neural pathways that support the beliefs that hold us back. Somatic, I do brain spotting, somatic work. And so that's how we get it up and out of the body, as well as subconscious reprogramming. So if this is for you, there's a link below in the description box. Just give that a click and you can join us and hop right in. We would love to welcome you there. All right, so what is discipline fatigue? Oddly enough, I had to search it the other day. I was going strong with my commitment to fitness and working out and nutrition, and I hit a bit of a wall. And certainly there were external circumstances. I started my master's program about 5 weeks ago, and that required a big shift in how many days a week I could work out. And if you are curious about what happens when we leave a little leeway or a little bit of room in our commitment to do it maybe later, do it maybe a little less, there's a video that I did a while ago. If you search the Bright Line, you will find that. But this is a little bit different. So when you bring on something new, a whole new workload of 20 hours on top of already being a single parent, pretty much full time, and building a business, and you add to that another 20 hours worth of work, there is a fatigue that happens. And so my workout was what fell away. And only for a little bit. We're back on the horse, no problems there. But it really made me ask the question, is there something called discipline fatigue? And sure enough, it is directly correlated to decision fatigue. So I don't know if you've noticed, but when you go to the grocery store, the alcohol and the ice cream are always at the last point in the grocery store. So there's a little path that they want you to walk. And as you walk through towards the checkout, the last thing, the candy aisle, the alcohol, the ice cream, the pizzas, all the things that we know we need to say no to are at the end, because we have exhausted ourselves. We have made a lot of different decisions, and we've had to exercise a lot of discipline over our decisions as we've gone through that grocery store, and they know that at the very end we are at our weakest. And so there is truly a tank of energy, or a tank of ability to make decisions or to be disciplined, and it can be depleted. And the same is true for discipline as it is for decision. And this is also why Steve Jobs wore black turtlenecks every day, because it was one less decision that he had to make. He just went to his closet and pulled out that shirt. And I believe the pants were the same as well. And he was good to go. So we have an opportunity to optimize where we use this energy, where we use this ability, and being very careful to weed out the areas where we don't need to make a decision, or where we can simplify or minimize decisions, can be very helpful and very productive. Right? So it's just like a muscle. It can atrophy just like a muscle would at the gym. And it is common for us, especially who have experienced complex trauma, to sort of tax this muscle, that we very often will swing to extremes of things. And so if you've ever found yourself, you've discovered a new YouTube channel, you've discovered a new hobby, you've discovered a new workout, a new diet routine, a new anything, and you want to go all in. This is the trauma response, where we're like a pendulum. We swing from one extreme to the other. And so we go out and we buy all this stuff, and we're so excited, and we're working out 5 days a week, and we are so committed, but we overdo it. We overuse the discipline muscle, or we overuse our stores of our ability to make decision and to show up and to continue to discipline ourselves. So we often get really excited about it. We may even believe that this will be the new thing that solves the problem of not feeling enough. If it's a new diet routine, we have not felt enough because we weren't the right weight. If it's a new exercise routine, we weren't feeling enough because we weren't fit enough. There's this constant belief coming from the ego, coming from separation, coming from complex trauma, that causes us to believe there's something wrong with me and I have to accomplish something to make this better. And so we will go, especially, well, pretty much the whole world has experienced complex trauma. So it's pretty much the human condition right now, but some of us have greater levels of this challenge, where we go all in and we are overdoing it, and we are putting too much time and attention, too much effort, too much money, whatever it might be, towards this new thing. And essentially it all boils down to too much belief in the fact that this thing outside of us is somehow going to make us healed and whole and complete, which of course only our awareness of oneness with the divine can do. So we go too hard, and likely it's like I said, it could be a new diet, it could be a new workout, it could be a new course, a new career, a new boyfriend, new girlfriend, whatever it is, where we're putting all of our focus and attention into this thing. It is not sustainable, because we have gone all in, because we have swung the pendulum too far, because we believe that this is going to be the thing that fixes us, and of course it won't. It is not sustainable. Now, if we want to try these things, if we want to entertain new routines, new ways of life, it is possible to do this from a healthy place and make it sustainable, so that we don't have that fatigue where we fizzle and burn out and quit, which of course perpetuates this cycle of not enoughness. I failed, I didn't do it right, there's something wrong with me. We beat ourselves up, we criticize ourselves, we feel guilt and shame, and then we feel like that thing can no longer help us, so we never even go back, which it may have had some potential to optimize our health, optimize our fitness, optimize our relationships, but because we went too hard in, too all in, then we experience that fizzle and the burnout and the fatigue, and then we quit. So it never really had a chance from either perspective. So there's a couple reasons why we fail at this. And I should also mention that when we feel guilt and shame about it, we actually perpetuate the issue that we initially thought that was going to resolve. So if I'm signing up for a new diet, it's because, and if it's because it's coming from a place of feeling like I'm not enough because I'm not the right weight, then when I feel guilty about it, when I feel shame, then I am attaching myself even more so. I am strengthening the belief that initially instigated the situation, that belief that there's something wrong with me, or that I'm not enough, or that something outside of me can resolve this problem. So a couple of reasons why we fail is, one, like I said, when we begin the new initiative from a place of lack or not enoughness, it has no chance. It's the same with manifestation. If you are manifesting, if you're trying to manifest, or if you're manifesting from a place of lack, if you're trying to manifest from feeling like I don't have this thing and I need this thing to be happy, therefore I want to manifest it, you likely will not be successful. You likely will manifest more of the thing that you are trying to escape, right? So when we begin a new initiative from the place of lack or not enoughness, it is not sustainable. Number two is we overcommit, we go all in, and we've exhausted our discipline muscle. And number three is we never really healed the wound that caused the desire for that thing in the first place. 9 times out of 10, or maybe even 99.9% of the time, people, unconscious people especially, but early awakening people, people who are not aware of oneness, are doing most things from a place of lack. And trying to heal trauma through external solutions is never successful. Trauma is housed in the body. You can only heal trauma with somatic therapies like brain spotting or EMDR. Those are the two options. But really, truthfully, at the end of the day, yes, the trauma needs to be healed, but beyond that, oneness has to be realized. That you are already whole and complete, regardless. That there is nothing for you to accomplish. There's nothing for you to do. You are not even the doer. You are being lived by life. And so if you've ever tried to do something and failed and felt like, I don't have discipline, there's something wrong with me, I can never make these things work, the seeking for the solution or fulfillment outside of you is the problem, not you. You are not inherently bad, wrong, or broken. In fact, there's nothing wrong with you except the belief that there's something wrong with you. That the illusion and Maya of separation is created by the mind, which would mean the solution is a new mind. In fact, the Course in Miracles says a miracle is a shift in perception, right? So few things that we can do to prevent the breakdown, to prevent the failure, to prevent the discipline fatigue are: one, ease into it, baby step into it. Don't allow yourself to go all in. If there's a new hobby that you want to try, buy 2 or 3 of the necessary components and give it a try. Do it once, see how you like it. Do it one day and wait a few days before you do it again. It is going all in. It is that over exertion that is going to create the discipline fatigue, or you could call failure or breakdown or quitting or fizzling out. So take a measured approach and be balanced in how you step into this. We want to be 1% better every day. When we try to do everything all at once, that's when we fail. Number 2 is know why. Know your why. Why are you doing this thing? What is your driving force? Is it stemming from a place of lack? Make your why a loving one. Make the foundation that you build on sustainable. I like to use the example of going for a run. If I go for a run because I feel like I'm out of shape, because I haven't kept my diet lately, because I'm feeling somehow bad about my body or myself, that is going to be a terrible run, and I'm going to get terrible results. But if I go for a run because I feel amazing, this energy is so good, the eclipses are very energizing, I have lots of energy to exert, it feels good to run. I love the pavement under my feet. I love the wind in my hair. I'm out there enjoying life, experiencing the beauty that it was meant to be. That is going to be a phenomenal run. I'm going to feel amazing. My body's going to feel amazing. I'm going to get good results, right? So number 3 is play with your timing. Also look at, if, using the example of going for a run again, if I want to go for a run, if I want to cultivate a healthy habit for myself, and I'm doing it because I love myself and I want to pull myself up and out of a hole. I will say running was a great way for me to get out of depression. The time of day can matter quite a bit. If I tell myself I have to go running at 4 a.m. every day, I will fail. It's just not sustainable. From a physical standpoint, I, as a human design projector, cannot exert that much energy. I cannot go without that much sleep. So for me, mid-afternoon, this is the perfect time. That 2 to 3 p.m. lull, that's what resonates for me. When I was in the corporate world, running at lunch was excellent. It was a great way to get out there and solve problems. As magically, something that I had, wrestled with in the morning was resolved while I was on my run at my lunch break. Also, be willing to be flexible in the days, right? It doesn't always have to be lunchtime. It doesn't always have to be 7 days a week. It doesn't always have to be anything. Nothing is ever always. And it's our rigidity and our control when we cling to the expectation that it has to be a certain way that set ourselves up for failure. If you're starting a new diet and you've said these are the 5 foods that I can eat, and you've done really well for a week or two just eating those 5 foods, but then you find yourself crashing and saying, I need something different. I want pizza. I want, whatever your thing is, that's not mine. But, if I were to be honest, if there's any junk food, it would be Cheetos, right? If you put a bag of Cheetos in front of me, oh, discipline fatigue kicks in. The thing is, though, when you notice that happening, it may be that this is it. Well, it is a gift. It's not a question. It is a gift. Your body's saying, I need something more. I need something different. So again, it's not being so rigid that I say, no, these are the 5 foods we said, and we cannot change that. I have to say, okay, I honor and respect that the body is asking for something more and different. Maybe I need to consider these other 2 or 3 also very healthy foods that may just be a little bit off the path. I tend to try to stick to whole foods, fruits primarily, certainly a vegetable or a sweet potato here and there, but sometimes I want like a coconut kefir, right? Sometimes I want something a little bit different, and I have to be willing to honor myself and love myself enough to respect the fact that just because I had this rigid plan in the beginning doesn't mean that I have somehow failed because I'm searching for or seeking for a sustainable solution. So be flexible, whether it's timing or in the plan. All right, number 4 will seem a little bit controversial to the last one, but again, these are ideas or concepts to help you, and you get to pick and choose which one works for you. For me, having a routine works really well. I like to create sort of a habit, or what they would say, a hypnotic rhythm, where it comes to a point where it's no longer a decision. I'm not thinking about it anymore. It's not an option, right? There's certain days on certain times we just do this thing, and it's non-negotiable. It's not even a question anymore. So I'm not even exerting my energy in whether or not I'm going to make the decision to go do that thing. I'm just going to do it. It's not even a question, right? But know that it will take anywhere. Some say 21 days. I certainly like to go with the popular culture sometimes, but my integrity says no, must deliver truth. So I'll give you the range of 21 to 90 days. And I say 90 days because that's what it takes to create the new beginnings of a neural pathway, not even a completely newly formed one. So give yourself at least 90 days and know that if you feel like hypnotic rhythm is the place for you, you like routine, you will need the discipline for the first 21 to 90 days. But after that, you're going to start to see that hypnotic rhythm come in where you don't have to think about it anymore. Number 5 is create accountability. It really can be helpful if you put it in writing or put it on the calendar or speak it out loud to a friend, put it in a social post. Give yourself the commitment of, hey, I just told however many followers I have on my channel or my feed that I'm going to do this thing. That means I'm going to show up, right? Maybe it's a TikTok challenge or something of that nature, where you have accountability, you have a community that is watching you and supporting you and cheering you on in this. Number 6 is remove temptation. As it relates to the diet example, get rid of the sugar or get rid of the Cheetos. They're not in the house. It's not an option. We don't think about it. It's not even a thing, right? Don't drive past the bar if you're trying to stop drinking. Don't drive, or do drive past the gym if you're trying to work out, right? Set up reoccurring childcare, set up a reoccurring date with a friend, whatever it is to sort of remove the temptation that again creates a non-negotiable where it's just not even a question. I got to do this thing. And then finally, number 7, sometimes you just need a break. Sometimes not doing the thing that you wanted to have discipline for means you just needed to rest for a minute. And this one, again, we have to be careful. Choose the ones that you think are going to work for you. And if you think that giving yourself a break is going to open up the door to maybe I need another break and another break and another break, then be aware of that. Choose wisely as what's best for you. But many times the energies are shifting and changing. We just went through 2 very intense weeks of eclipse season and very, very high energies. And especially at a new moon or a full moon, especially at an eclipse, energies can be low, meaning you can feel just a little bit fatigued, maybe a little bit more need for food or rest or a nap. Be willing to honor your needs. That discipline does not mean dictatorship. It doesn't mean beating yourself up or whipping yourself to death. It means showing up consistently and making the loving decision based on what you need in that moment. Many times that will mean kicking your butt and getting up and going to the gym, or prepping your food so that you make good choices when it comes time to eat. But sometimes that means not going to the gym. Sometimes that means having a potato instead of a salad. You have to be honest with yourself. And when you are being honest with yourself, then you will have the discernment to say, right now I'm making excuses. This is not a time for rest. But other times you will know, I've been really pushing hard. I've been very committed to this. My body is fatigued. Maybe I feel like I'm fighting an illness. It might be time to just take a break, right? Have grace for yourself and give yourself a break and say, you know what, you've done a really good job so far. Let's just take a minute to breathe, right? And then once you've had that break, it might be necessary to revisit and revise and adapt the plan so that you can get back on the horse as quickly as possible. And again, pacing yourself, finding balance. There is a delicate balance in the universe between surrender into oneness and owning your power and authority in the co-creative relationship. And the same applies here. There's a balance in approaching your life from a place of ease with grace, and also having discipline and taking the action that you know is loving, not only to yourself, but to God, source, divine, creator, universe, and all those around you. Okay. All right. I hope you enjoyed this topic. I hope you find it helpful. Again, please do make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and check out the link below for the New Earth Construction Team community. We would love to welcome you and see you there and create heaven on earth together. All right. I love you, my friends, and I will talk to you soon. Namaste.